Let's get into your journey, Nitya. We just please tell us how did it all start? What is the starting point?
Okay, so
Yeah.
I started this when I was 4. So it happened very accidentally when she was actually feeding me and I was watching fun music.
Mm-hmm.
I, I've been so ardent in watching all the music channels instead of other Siripoli or whatever
Mm-hmm.
that come up. I always been like my parents told me. I mean, I really don't remember, but don't worry,
Yeah.
I mean, always watch music channels and suddenly, no, now I remember she was singing some song and I kind of corrected her. I was like,
Oh.
this shouldn't be this way. I think this is how it sounds. And she was like, okay, sing it. Then I stand. So this is how it all started. And she was like, oh my God, my kid is singing. And that's when she called up my dad. My dad was not in town. He was somewhere else. He
Mm.
was in Nagapatnam, I guess. And then she called him up
Okay.
and she was like, oh my God, she's really singing. And I was only 4 and he rushed home and then immediately they put me to a PaatuClass. And my mother was like, Annie, glad that, I'm somewhere blessed to have parents who sing.
All
My
right.
sister also sings. And, it's a family package, I think, has helped me become the singer I am today.
Mm.
So, Carnatically, very classically trained, and my dad has been running a music band for almost 30 years now. So,
Wow.
it all started
Wow.
there. I had
Okay.
both, influence of the rock music as well as uh, the Carnatic music.
Correct.
Born. I think it all happened.
Right.
So that's how I started singing. And I started doing stage shows when I was 5 years old along with my dad. I just learned two
Wow.
songs. You should have very nostalgic whenever I think about it. It was just that two songs. Can I mention the song?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
So it
Even
was,
you should probably sing it also.
oh, definitely. I think we should sing it together, yes?
Yeah, we
So,
can try.
yes. So it was Paatha Mudal Nare
Oh. Oh.
and Sutram Viri Chudare.
Wow.
These are ultimate songs that I learned, my first two songs, but technically the one that I sang first was Kalyananda Kati Kittu Odi Polama, Ila Odi Poi, and my mother was like, எடுத்த உடனே என்ன பாட்டு பாடுறா பாருங்க 4 yearsல. That's how it started.
True, true Harris Jairaj fan.
Oh,
Yeah.
better. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think, yeah, definitely there somewhere running.
Yes.
So, in the running song, I will always sing with my dad holding his hand because and my two I can't be on stage like, that's how it started. I used to hold his hand and I used to sing. These two, and
Okay.
when I was 5. So,
Mm.
yeah, from 5 years to 6 years, I think for a year, I sang in these two songs. Just two songs.
Wow.
So, that, kind of I'm thankful to my parents that they did that to me instead of making me learn so many songs and cluster my money. When there was these two songs that I had to only focus, the
Mm.
more I got used to singing the singing two songs, I was able to
Mm.
explore the other quarters of singing, other quarters of handling stage, about learning how to mix my microphone, how do I interact with people, how do I. So a lot of things I was able to focus because I internalized the song so much that it gave me that confidence to be on stage. So like, people used to ask me, where and the part where she's singing. I also didn't think about it, but later on,
Mm.
actually, I was like, wow, that actually helped me a lot in learning the other aspects of being a performer.
பார்த்த முதல் நாளே உன்னை பார்த்த முதல் நாளே
காட்சி கொடுக்கிறதே கண்ணே காட்சி கொடுக்கிறதே உணவையாய் வந்து என்னை அடித்தாய் கனவாய் மாறி என்னை இழுத்தாய் உடலாடி தாண்டி உன் முகம் என்றும் உழையாது.
My head is like tick 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 tick. If only we could sync audio,
Thinking
probably
like
when the
that.
technology reaches a point where even on Insta we don't have the lag. It'll be so much more fun for us, right?
So, so true. So I'm gonna go and sing super today
Yeah.
also. Sutrungiri churare, sutrungu churare, ingunadam my capture. பத்தப்பன்னிலும் பாடல் தப்பி தப்பி உலகரின் இதயம் பற்றி கொள்ளுதே பறவை கம்பீட்டு சப்பழம் கண்டீமி முன்னாடியும் கம்பீட்டு சப்பழம் கண்டூமி கைவீட்டு சப்பழம் கண்டீம் முன்னாடியும் கைவீட்டு சப்பழம் கண்டூமி.
I love the way you completely wrap your identity around the song. Even this song, like it's so evident that you have completely made it your version, because I think that's what you're talking about when you're so closely associated, when you build such a strong relationship with a certain song, you completely internalize it and it becomes your style. When you finally deliver it, like right now, the way you did it, it was so you. Like I couldn't hear anybody else, like, because it was so uniquely done. And you were not at any point in time. Of course, we say that a lot in the course as well, where we tell people to shed away these ideas that they want to follow their favorite singer, sound like them, perform like them. Drop that and see what superbly how well things bloom, how blossom. Yeah.
I think in a way I'm really blessed with a voice that doesn't sound like any others.
Yeah.
There was a point actually when you're this is actually taking me back to the days, when I started singing. Um, I used to. I mean, I think I've never spoken about this outside. I think this is the first platform that I'm sharing this with because it's just coming onto my mind. I used to actually feel very bad about my voice. When I started singing, I used to be very conscious that my voice sounds very nasal. It sounds very tricky and pokey, and I feel like it has a lot of high frequency. I mean, when I started, now it's completely changed after my growth into learning how to really sing. I didn't back then know how to use my voice, the right production of singing, and it was actually a lot of self-criticism I used to do when I was young that, I don't like my voice. I think this is not soothing because since my voice is unique, I can't really pick on to songs that generally everybody sings. I need to
Yeah.
be very, very, very particular about song selections, and the type of songs, the genre of songs. Everything was, it had to be made to Nithyashree's comfort zone and style, and only then I would be able to deliver what the song actually deserves. So that was, I mean, a very big journey for me to understand my voice and fall in love with my voice. I think now I'm really thankful that I have a very unique voice because, as you said, when I sing, people say I'm able to hear Nitya, and that's a big success. Not everyone
It is. It is.
are blessed to get that, so I think I'm really blessed.
I know, I know how much of a dynamite you are on stage. Of course, we've had that opportunity to, of course, for you and Shankar Raja, that's a different thing. But even you and I, we also had our private performances, like, where I could totally see you become one with the audience. You know. So tell us about that. What does live performance mean to you? Like, what really goes on when you get on that stage?
That's a totally different nashe. I get into a different world when I'm on stage. Sometimes I really, when I look at my performances on stage after the show, because I always take some time to watch my performances after my shows to see where I can improve myself, what can be done better for the next time. Right from my costume to my singing to song selection to how I handle the audience, everything. This is an art that I think, I have practiced so much. Being on stage is a blessing. It's a different feel that I get butterflies every time. The moment, like before I get on stage, I have that fire where people shout, "Nitya, Nitya, get on stage!" and getting on stage and performing for that. And it's like, I think it's the fire that the audience with me. I don't know. When the audience are kind of low, I kind of, tend to go a little low on my performance. But high, I think I just into 10 minutes, I just something happens to me, and sometimes I look at my performance and I think, is that me? It's like so possessed and so possessed on stage. I don't know. I get so possessed on stage. I think I want to be the queen of the stage. I want to be the queen of whatever I'm doing. So nobody can take that space out of me. No, they can't take it from me. That's kind of the relationship I have with stage. There is it's all every stage is a unique experience. Every stage is different. Uh, you know, magic. It's magic.
I've also noticed that the audience choice mashups, like they are like a huge thing, they love. And I've also personally been a huge admirer of that, especially because mashups are not easy. Because
True.
it's literally like a garland. You're creating a garland out of like super duper hits, right? And they really need to come together. So how do you work on these mashups? Like, what's your
It's not period. To be very honest, when I started with my first mashup, that it actually almost crossed 1.5 million views on YouTube. I think that's the really successful video on my YouTube channel, my YouTube journey. And I could really take the moment to thank my team, John Trooper, Bharat Vikram, Subhash, who have closely worked with me in creating this project. And this was especially done during the COVID time. So we didn't get the opportunity to go to a studio, record. So, I mean, I was like, during that time, I really wanted to do something to keep audience active, to keep them some kind of mental peace, through my music. So that's how I just, put up a post on Instagram asking them what do you want me to sing next, and really song that you like me to sing, I definitely sing. So all different languages started coming. I was like, how am I going to deal all of this? So what language do I pick? Do I pick Tamil or do I pick Kannada? Do I pick Malayalam? Or do I pick Punjabi or Marathi? What do I do? How will I handle this? So that was a whole brainstorming session that went before I created the book, and I really thought, every language has to be respected. Everybody who is asking for the song, I really want me to do that language. So somehow I should, try and make something with it. So I sat down. I still have those diaries, all my work diaries there. I'm like literally sat and wrote down what songs they've asked me, and like how many times I used to put a bar next to every song, how many times they've asked, so that I can count towards the learning and then see the song. And that's how I think I came up with the entire first matchup, because 10 different languages, and like people ask me all the famous bits of that time period. So everything together was actually a huge task for us to, bring them together, because they have to sound like one song, not like
exactly.
and it shouldn't sound boring, like, just one beat and like 20 songs. I didn't want it to sound like that. I wanted every song to sound like the original, but still have a unique touch of my voice and my style into it, and also has the element of a mashup coming into it. So we segregated into a 4/4 pattern, a 3/4 pattern, and all different. I think we did the Hollywood and Italian part of it towards the end.
Right.
So that's how we created the entire. I think big kudos to Joey Rupert and Bowen.
I must, yes, a big shout out to him. I also love the production of these tracks, because that's also a big thing, to really bring them together. Even as a producer,
You wouldn't believe if I say it was all recorded just on my iPhone. It was just recorded on my phone. We couldn't go to video during the COVID time.
COVID times, right?
Every song, every layer, like every harmony layer, I had to put in a separate, I had to stack them like that and, send it to him through email and he kind of put them every, he did a fabulous job.
Fantastic job. Yes.
Yeah, just bringing the essence of the whole mashup, I think.
How did you go through your process of collaboration, like, especially at a time like that?
Well, it was difficult, but I don't know. I think I've always had the fire to do something, keep going on something that I should never. I'm this person who cannot even wait a little, even little time. I can't even sit to watch a movie that actually wrong. Nobody to take this week. I mean, I've done a lot of mistakes, so I'm really, really working on correcting them now. Now I, consciously take breaks to, watch a movie or something. I back then didn't do that. I was always like, I need to keep going. What new can I do? How can I keep the fire going on? Like always into something. So I think uh, during the COVID time, I was able to explore a lot of my other aspects of performing. Like I improved a lot of styling. I had the chance of collaborating with different people, and thanks to all of them who worked with me through my YouTube journey. Whoever has collaborated with me through my entire journey, it's been almost 1.5 years. But I finished last 1 year. I've actually taken a small break from YouTube to come back with something nicer. And I wanted to be ready with something good before I come back. So I just thought I would take a leader. But then it was very difficult for me to collaborate. But then I'm thankful to those who were all my friends, my family, of course, for being there, through the entire journey of, literally, one friend of mine would go and pick the costume and come, and the other one will be delivering something from here. One will go to pick the accessory, and
How sweet.
it was crazy. It was crazy. I think, but for them, I think I wouldn't have been able to do what I've done up until.
What it is that you did to really grow your presence as an influencer and a YouTuber. I'm sure a lot of people would love to learn from you.
I mean, I'm still learning, to be very honest, because it's being uh, a person on in front of the camera or being influencer actually takes a lot more than what is actually like, and might it might look great and all good from outside, but actually the amount of work that goes behind is truly insane. And in years of my life as being into this, you know, uh, um, and we, I think, Ranjana also started about the point that, how grateful and happy my parents are. I think that was the context that we were starting to talk about. Really thankful to my parents because I think I am there because of them. Really, one, I've got basic from them. Two, I really learned how meticulous they are when they do something, on daily basis that I live with them. I see how they work from morning to night, and I used to sit with my dad to create a schedule for myself. So I really am a paper person. So I actually write down everything like 6:30 I do it, 6:30 to 10, 10:30, 10:30 to 8. This is how I do. So I have a spot. I have a bulletin board that I stick my paper, schedule paper, and I stick to the schedule like no matter what. I really like I'm a paper person. It really works for me. I think uh, all my discipline has come from there. You know, because I love being with myself. I will not spare myself if I don't practice for a day. I will, in case, for example, I'm practicing half an hour today, I will make sure I practice an hour tomorrow. So I compensate my schedule and time like that. So I'm very strict with how I follow my pattern. So I think that's how I do the practice and the kitchen that has what gotten me here. It's going from super singer to Indian Idol, it's been a huge journey for me. Without knowing the language, to handle a national level competition was ultimately a great challenge for me. That even today, sometimes I really fear that, oh my God, did I really do that? Like, did I really cross those phase, that phase? So this importantly where people say please talk in Tamil பேசுங்க Tamil தெரியாதா, these kind of comments, I get a lot. That I really sometimes I've not addressed this anywhere, but I'm addressing it here because we started on to it. So it when I have people who follow me from different parts of the world, where I need to be in common ground with, making them understand whatever I'm speaking. English becomes the balancing language for everybody to understand whatever I'm putting out at the same time. So sometimes it's even difficult for me to always convey everything in English because I do have a huge following base from Tamil Nadu. But then I have to also respect everybody who follow me for my art from different parts of the world. So
And you've been doing this for like however long you've been doing it. But every influencer speaks about burnout. Like, how are you so consistent? Like, what do you do when it gets overwhelming? Because it is overwhelming. Social media can, make you feel very overwhelmed because of the kind of plans that you have, because of the amount of content that you're like, like planning and creating and always creating to grow your channel. So you're doing separate content for YouTube, you're doing separate content for Insta, you're putting up on stories all the time. So how do you manage your emotional space, as an influencer?
this is a very, very tough question. I think it's been last 2 years since I'm actually realizing that I need to really give myself the respect and space. All these years I've been like only focusing on working hard, going forward with things, this to that to that, and like I've always been jumping on trying and experimenting my life in all different ways, and it has always been career oriented. And since last few years, me and Ranjith, we actually had a huge conversation after the concert that we did in January. In the car when we were returning back, I think we had a very deep conversation about, the burnout and how much it actually takes on to an artist when we have to, be this person in front of the media, in front of the people. Being a people's person itself is a very huge task by itself. So, and managing everything, that is another whole big game. I think I can talk about it for days together. So it's really, really, I mean, difficult, and I'm actually starting to miss my childhood days. I sometimes when I look at myself on social media or somebody posts something about me, I be like, okay, why am I a singer? Like, why am I this person? Why am I having to do this? Sometimes why can't I just be a normal human being? Just going to a park, just playing, just going to a restaurant, eating whatever food that I like. Life actually gets very difficult when you are a familiar personality, right? You don't get to be the normal human being that you want to be. So I think there's a lot of these things that I've started missing in the last 2 years. So I think that's a sign of burnout that, somewhere I've done so much that I feel like, I need to just take a chisel.
There's also like comments that are not very nice, that don't make one feel good. So as an influencer, how do you manage that?
Okay, I think I really have to credit my parents for because we have been listening to all the good and bad. When I I don't know, I've always taken notice as somewhere is a potential criticism. So I look at them and, is there some scope for me to improve from those comments? I actually take it in the better way that I can work on myself to be someone better, a better version of myself. But when it is absolutely doesn't make sense, I really, I think as a character, as a person I am, I don't really take a lot onto my mind. So I just, ignore. That's the
That's really wonderful because to have that maturity when at least now you've been doing it for a long time, but to have this kind of maturity when you were probably younger because you started so early is really something to learn from.
பாராத பாட்டெல்லாம் பாட வந்தேன் காணாத கண்களை காண வந்தேன் பேசாத மொழியெல்லாம் பேச வந்தேன் உன்னாசை நெஞ்சினே ஆட வந்தேன் உன் ஆசை நெஞ்சினே ஆட வந்தேன் பாராத பாட்டெல்லாம் பாட வந்தேன் காணாத கண்களை காண வந்தேன் பேசாத மொழியெல்லாம் பேச வந்தேன் நெஞ்சிலே ஆட வந்தேன் அசை நெஞ்சிலே ஆட வந்தேன்
ഒരു വേനൽപ്പുഴയിൽ തെളിനീരിൽ പുലരി തിളങ്ങി മൂകം ഇലകളിൽ പൂക്കളിൽ എഴുതി ഞാൻ ഇളവയിലായി നിന്നെ മേഘമായി എൻ താഴ്വരയിൽ നാളമായി എൻ ആത്മാവിൽ നെഞ്ചിലാളും മൺചിരാതിൻ നാടം പോൽ നിന്നാലും നീ വേനൽ പുഴയിൽ തെളിനീരിൽ പുലരി തിളങ്ങി മൂഖം ഇലകളിൽ പൂക്കളിൽ എഴുതി ഞാൻ ഇളവയിലായി നിന്നെ. Thank you. I hope you guys heard it properly.
Cold and windy, running away now, needed by எங்கேயும் போகாமல் தினம் ஏதும் இலக்கமும் முதுவாது குழந்தை நான் வேண்டும் பத்மகரா என்னும் முன் பொன்மதியின் தூங்கியார் போசுவன் நீ கண்ணுடன் anh buông mắt bay khăn gai quý đủ phù khách anh mình tôi cũng khóc hay mình người biết tuổi người nhá pha ye du pa pa pu hồng nên người biểu ai pa
டோல்தான் அடிக்கிறான் இரு தோளந்தான் உரசுறான் மேலும் கீழுமாய் இருக்கிறான் முப்பாலம் கலந்து என்ன கலக்குறான்
புளியை வைத்ததான கத்திய பெண்ணும் தான் முழுமையானான் சொற்க நரகத்தின் கனவையா பெண்கிறவும் இறைவனும் ஒன்றுதான் பெண் இருந்து தெரிவதே இல்லை
அடி ஆரிய மாலா அந்த விழிகள் என்ன கூறிய வேளா ஓயில்ல நீ சொல்லும் விஷத்தேலா சிரிப்பு என்ன மந்திர கோலா 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 கோலா.
If you weren't the way you are, I don't think you could be where you are. So I think everything that you have done has contributed to getting you where you are today. It's always a good time to chill. But some of us need that in our lives. In fact, As in, from this conversation, I feel like Ranjit is one end of the spectrum, and you seem like you're another end of the spectrum. Everybody needs to meet midway a little bit. He's so chill. He's so like relaxed.
I told him I really want to learn that from him. I can't. I really can't.
But
People
that's not a
don't.
bad thing. That's just how you are. That's just how he is. And he's also like so experienced. When we have a lot of very experienced artists on the live, they've already found their space. They've gone through that entire process, and finally the chill comes. I don't think everyone is chill all the time. I think it's part of the process. What, Ranjit, teacher, tell us?
I always, I'm like I said, I'm a huge fan of Nitya's. I don't know, whenever she talks about things like, I want to do things differently. I mean, that's something that we always constantly like evolve. We evolve. It's not easy to have uh, such an important quality as focus. You know, completely staying focused, completely staying committed. Those are like very, very rare and unique qualities that you already possess. Now, anything you do beyond this, it's definitely going to be a hit. Like everybody already, there's so many people who have joined this live and so many people who are trying to tell you how much they love you. I mean, there's only love from this point on. And I can't honestly wait to see you come out with so many of your, beautiful content, like, because you put so much of thought, you put so much of passion into it. And it's such a delight to see it all flower. So yeah, I don't even know what Nithya is talking about when she says that she's taking a break.
No, I think I'm not like
It
a
is
just like a breather because I
yeah,
want to come up with
correct,
more creative. I just sort of like
correct.
because we're talking about the burnout part of it.
It's
I really
important.
know that I've always been uh, on the
Yeah.
edge to things, always focused and committed, and like there was no time for me to actually even think about anything else. Like I
Yes, that's important.
missed out on the factor of self care, which
Mm,
I'm realizing in the
that's good.
recent time.
That's
Anyway,
awesome.
that's a lesson that I've learned, and I really want to give it to people who are actually watching this. Be you're passionate, be passionate, but then take some time for yourself also. You don't
Exactly.
want to put that later. I think somewhere I'm regretting that, missing my childhood because I was on television and media somewhere I was, 5, 6 years old. So it's been 10 years of being in this industry already. So it actually takes a
Oh yeah.
and equally, I am a fan of her and really learning how to do this calm head, but still, being the boss you are, that's really I need to learn from you and learning. I think conversations that we have had really has enlightened me, and I really think I can implement. I really feel I have the potential to implement them. Yeah.
Honestly, Nitya, I think every conversation that we have, it has been an opportunity for me also to understand so much, and just share whatever I could. And it's been so much fun because I have learned so much from you. From the little things that you say, there's so much that I'm like, wow, this is so much to learn, because your young energy, it's so good to see young, bubbling energy, and it's such an inspiration.
Big word.
So,
Don't really know how to deserve it
no,
coming
no,
from you.
totally, totally. You deserve much more, and all of that is coming your way. Okay, and like I already told you, I'm super excited to see all the up upcoming ventures that we're going to see. So I'm super glued. I'm every time you send a broadcast, I love immediately I go and check it out just to see, okay, what exciting is Nitya up to. So it's amazing. So, and I really want to thank you for being here today with us and taking so much of your time.